This is the Think Tank Triggerfish topwater lure. And at this point in time, I don't know if it triggers fish or triggers fishermen. Let's see what we can find out about this bait. Hey folks, Den Haring here for Fish Den 365. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Topwater Tuesday. Today we have an unusual one here with the Think Tank Triggerfish. Look at this thing. It's very different. It's got a spinner on the tail. The line ties up top. It's got a lip. This bait came out somewhere around 2010, 2009, 2011, in that time frame. And they did a very good advertising campaign on this bait. One of the reasons I think I bought the bait was because of the video that shows these giant bass coming up and just annihilating it. And some of that footage is quite exciting. And being a topwater fanatic, you see that, I see that, I'm like, wow, I have to try this out. Well, I bought this bait back then, and I played with it once or twice to see how it worked, and I don't think I've ever picked it up again. And that may be a mistake. This is one of these lures that it's not obvious if it's a legitimate good lure or not. So the next thing I'd like to do is take you out in the water, show you what you can do with this thing, and to the best of my ability, which may not be the greatest for this lure, because this lure, the angler has to impart the action on it. But we'll take it out there and we'll show you what it looks like and let you decide what you think about this lure, and then I'll talk a little bit more about it as well. Alright, let's show you, first things first, how this thing sits in the water. And I believe even that is different. Let's take a look here. So you'll notice it sits on its side and it flips from one side to the other. Even though the hooks come off the belly, the bait actually sits on its side. And it does look like a dead or dying bait fish. Let's show you what this thing can do. So the idea here is you can go from one side and then go to the other, catching some leaves, got some debris in the water here. Might have to move to a different spot to show you this bait. Move down here a little bit. Maybe a little less debris over here. Quite a bit of junk in the water no matter where we seem to want to go. But you'll notice how this thing swims. It goes off to the side, one side, and if you change it, it goes to the other side. And so you can steer the bait. You can literally steer the bait one way or the other, and it's that tail spinner goes each time. So that's one way to fish it, is to make it go into long pieces one way or the other, and then make it go the other way. Now there's another thing you can do with it, and that is twitching it. You can see what it does if you twitch. This way it looks like it's injured. And it'll flip from side to side. And I believe there's something on it. Trying to get a clear spot so we can show this thing to you. Can't see it, but what it's doing is it's dancing from one side to the other, and then it comes up to the top again. It actually dives down, turns, and comes back up again. And I kind of have to say I like that action, the way it does that. So interesting action, as you can see. I'll show you how this thing goes from one side to the other. Here you go off that side, then it comes back the other way. This side, you can steer it wherever you want. And that might work. You can make it go, so one thing you can do with that is you can make it go under boat docks. So that's an interesting little thing, right? You can send this thing out there, say you're alongside of a boat dock, and then as you go, it goes under that dock. Or if you want to go the other way, it goes under that dock the other way. And it takes a little practice, a little time manipulating the bait, learning how to do it, but you can manipulate this bait to do things that you want it to do, and so that makes it interesting as well. open it. Show you the top water action. Yeah, I can see this working, and I'll tell you the application that I'm going to have to try it with. I can see it doing what it wants to do with that alewife spawn, so we'll explain that. So that's the Think Tank Triggerfish, and you can see how that works. Very unique topwater. I can see this working during the alewife spawn. Let's go back to the boathouse and talk a little bit more about this. All right, well, you saw the lure in action, and well, what do you think? It's a different, very unique design. It's no longer in production as far as I know, but I saw a lot of these on eBay for anywhere from $7 all the way to $13 or $14 in that range. So they're available at a decent price. There's a lot of them on there, including this color. I like that color, that IU color. So the main two things that I take away from this bait is I see two main ways to use it. One is you can make this thing go sideways, and you can go under tree branches, under docks, and then how you make this switch to the other side is you just leave a little slack in the line and you twitch your rod, then that head turns the other way and the bait goes the other way, and it'll just keep trailing that way with the spinner spinning until you do something, stop it and bring it back. So you can make this thing trail one way and the other. I don't think that's the best use of the bait. There's something about it to me that doesn't look that great, the look of it. I'm not saying it doesn't work, because maybe it works really well and I just don't know it. And I do think there's an application for going under docks with this thing. You can send it under a dock, stop it when you're under there, and then twitch it. And that's the way I think I like this, the way this thing works the best. When you twitch the bait, you can make it splash on top. It goes under and then comes back up slowly. Twitch it, it goes the other way, under the water a little bit, comes back up slowly. And the reason why I'm interested in that is because it's pretty similar to the alewife spawn that takes place here in a lot of the lakes that I live near. Beltsville, Nockamixon, Lake Wallenpaupack, Blue Marsh, the New Jersey lakes, Raystown. They all have alewives, and when they spawn, it's usually, that spawn usually starts in May, it goes through June. It's at night, it's usually between 10 p.m. and 3 in the morning. But what happens then is the bait fish are all up, and they have this spawning ritual, the alewives. It's one or two or three together, and they do a circle, much like this does, and I think they rub together when they do it. And if you're in the right place when that's going on, it won't be long before you know if you found fish or not, because the stripers and the bass and everything come up and just blow up on them. So it's one of the easiest ways to find fish at that time of year, fishing at night, fishing the alewife spawn. And I've never tried this for that time of year. So I will try it come May and June. If I'm healthy enough to still be here and do everything, I will be throwing this at night at Lake Wallenpaupack just to see how it works and if I can get bit on it. I hope it's got quality components. It looks like it does. I can see a striper breaking the spinner on the back, but I don't think the spinner adds a whole lot to that action when it's twitching back and forth anyway. What I like is how it dives down, comes back up, dives down the other way. It does like a half a circle each time you do it. And that is where I think the most value is. But I'm curious to see what you think about it and what you know about this lure. So please comment if you have any experience with this bait. If you're the creator of the bait, I'd love to hear how this thing got created, how successful it was. You know, it was around for 5 years or more, and there was a lot of money spent on advertising for it. I'll put a link up here on the advertising, but there's also a video that shows you, it's an advertising video, but it shows you how to use the bait. And there's a lot more techniques than just the 2 that I went through. So I'll link that here. You can take a look at that, see what you think. But again, I'm real curious to know if you have any experience with the Think Tank Triggerfish. Well, that's it for this Topwater Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed that video. This is an unusual one. Got to bring all the different styles of topwaters in, and I thought it was more than time to do this one. I had this sitting on the wall for a long time, and so it had its turn today. Hope you liked the video. If you did, give me that thumbs up. That always helps me get more video, more watchers, more viewers of my channel. I'm trying to grow the channel, so I appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone. I have I'm getting close to 4,000 subscribers. I have a number of people that have been with me for years now. They watch my videos. We correspond back and forth in the comments, sometimes in emails, and I think that's great. And I appreciate every one of you, and I thank you all for watching the videos, and I hope to continue to do them for a long time. All right, that's it for this Topwater Tuesday. Be safe out there, and as always, may God bless your fishing endeavors.